I'm going to give you 5 things that I learned from Miss Mandy McAllister on business, money, and real estate. I'm Oliver Perry. This is the Oliver Perry Show, where we help you learn about real estate and to be successful. Let's do this. Number 1, make choices that allow for your freedom. Mandy brought this up midway in our interview. Mid to beginning of the interview. And what I did not realize is how many choices that we make that end up holding us to something else later on down the line. Mandy talked about how much it would be a pain to have to pay a mortgage of $1 million property. But that $1 million choice has a domino effect. It has secondary and what we call tertiary effects in the military. That's the second and third effects. Second and third order effects is what we call it as a whole. So if you go and get a $1 million home, now you have to pay up $1 million mortgage, which means you have to get a $1 million job, which means you're going to lose millions of dollars worth of hours and time. Every choice that you make has another effect to it. Be aware of those choices. Be aware of those decisions. Be aware of what that impact that has on you in the long run. If you don't want to have to go get a job, then maybe you shouldn't try and get $1 million home. If you want $1 million home, maybe you should take some of that money that you're making from your current job and put it away, or find a way to double it, triple it, quadruple it, or take it and invest in someone else who you know as a friend of yours who's making that kind of money. And that would allow you the opportunity to get in to learn that space. So every choice that you make has another effect to it. Next point, find the right fit for you. Mandy talked about finding things that are their space of genius. What's interesting is the space of genius is almost always going to be aligned with what works for you personally. Perfect example, Mandy's very good with money. She's very good with putting things together. So she works well when it comes to real estate as well with those same factors. She's moving all the time, so she doesn't have the time to have to do a flip because she may move in wherever knows because she's, dealing with military stuff. You don't know. Every 3 years in the military, you're moving, sometimes shorter than that. So she chose something in her line of work that allows her to be fluid, allows her to invest, allows her to take that money and make that money work. But at the same time, she doesn't have to be stressed about, is this flip happening? Is this happening? Is that happening all at the same time? Now, before I get to the next point, do me a favor, hit the subscribe button if this is making sense, if you are enjoying this, if this is something that's helpful to you, and leave comments below and let me know what you took from Mandy McAllister's interview. And if you haven't seen it, don't worry, I'll leave a card up here. You'll be able to see it. All right, now, next point. Community can propel you or fail you. This is something that is an ongoing theme, and I've said this several times in different forms and in different fashions when talking to some of these millionaires and billionaires on the podcast when it comes to real estate. They all talk about community. They all talk about relationships. They all talk about having accountability and people around you to make sure that you're executing. And this is no different. The right community can take you to the next level or can fail you. This is why I tell anybody who watches or anybody who talks to me, it's important to invest in yourself because there's people who are going to help you take to the next level, but you can't do it by yourself. It's just how it works. You just can't. Next, you'll never know everything, so take your chance. Mandy talked about how women, and that was an ongoing theme in her mind, and what she saw as something that women dealt with was that she was seeing that they were looking to know, some people were looking to know everything. And I don't think it just applies to women. I think this actually applies to male and female because we all get analysis paralysis and things of that nature. That is the key to beating analysis paralysis. You're never going to know it all. You are never going to know it all. Not even once you've done it 50 years, you're not going to know everything. 1, the rules change. 2, the people who are playing the game change. 3, the way you see the game changes. So you'll never know everything. You'll always be constantly evolving and growing. Be okay with that. Be accepting of that. And take your shot once you feel like you've done the best you can and you've put it all together as best you can. Next, get someone to hold you accountable. I can't tell you how crucial this is. We talk about community, yes, but even if you haven't found a community, that's fine. Find one person. It's not going to focus in here, but one person who is going to be willing to hold you accountable. It will change everything. I'm in a course with David, in a group with David Shams called the Morning Meetup, and you'll see the link in here somewhere below, and you might have even seen the commercial before this started. In that commercial, in that discussion, the first time I was exposed to David Shams, David said, "Hey, I want to hold you accountable for something, Ollie. Send me $200, and you have to do whatever the task was." I believe it was to wholesale a property within, I think it was 5 months or something like that. Now, did I make it to that goal? No, I didn't make it to the goal, and I lost that $200. Hopefully David took his wife out for dinner. I lost that $200, but what I did gain was a lot of knowledge. I did a lot of phone calling. I did a lot of cold calling. I did a lot of researching on areas near me. It pushed me, that money being on the line pushed me to the next level. Have somebody who's going to hold you accountable, and let them hold you accountable with something that's going to actually make a difference, or it's actually going to hurt you. Put it on the line. Put yourself on the line and believe in yourself. You can do this. Now, on this side, you'll see the interview, the full interview with Mandy, or you'll see the list of all the interviews I've done up to this point underneath that, right there. So do me a favor. Hit the subscribe button, hit the like button. Let me know what you think. Watch that Mandy McAllister episode. Let me know what you pulled from that interview, because it's a good one. In the meantime, remember, you're better than you were, but you're not half as good as you're going to be. I'll see you next time.